and exceptional Chicago Med. Tonight on
As the snow continues to fall, we've got team coverage to keep you up to date on winter weather around mid-Missouri. Plus, lawmakers try to bring ethics changes to the Capitol. And Senator Claire McCaskill speaks out on what she calls a nationwide drug epidemic. KOMU 8 News at 6 starts now. Our weather team has been in storm mode all day tracking the snow, and it looks like there is more on the way. Good evening. I'm Brittany Pieper. Thanks for joining us tonight. We have live team coverage on the weather. Jim Reek is out checking the road conditions in Boone County. He's in Storm 8, KOMU 8 Storm Patrol. Tori Stepanek is also braving the cold temperatures. But first, let's send it over to Kenton. He's warm inside here in the live Doppler 8 First Alert Weather Center for a look at what we can expect.
Brittany, thank you very much. Yeah, let's kick it off with our satellite and radar. Looking at what's happening right now out there, that's falling to the ground. You can see a lot of this snowfall actually moving out. Some dry air starting to move in. It is a bit of an icy situation down to the south, though. A lot of accidents reported in southern Missouri at this point, and we're even still seeing a little bit of some freezing rain and freezing drizzle and sleet along U.S. Highway 50, which goes through Jefferson City and areas to the south of there. Otherwise, again, still some flurries for us across the area. Columbia and Jefferson City both still seeing some flurries. Now, we are going to see more snow, though, this evening. That next system is moving through Kansas City at this point. It will continue to move off towards the east and expand to the south as it moves through. And we are seeing a little bit of a breeze with this as well. Luckily, winds are slowly dying down with this system. Hour by hour, again, you can see the snow moving through, starting to end just after midnight tonight. And here's a look at how much snow we've already seen across the area, not to mention how much snow we're going to see later. All of that coming up later in the show. But first, right now, we have Jim Reek out in Storm Patrol 8. He has the latest on what you can expect out in the roadways. Jim.
Kenton, thank you very much. We're here in Storm Patrol on WW, also known as East Broadway. Let me flip the camera. We're right at Club at Hawthorne. And as you can see, WW, East Broadway, it is very much snow covered. That's not good news. But the good news is the drivers, as you can see, these two cars coming towards us, most of the drivers are doing 25, 30 miles an hour. We had the radar gun out a second ago, and a pickup truck was going 48. That's way too fast. You know, Storm Patrol's four-wheel drive, and we're doing actually a little slipping and sliding here. So I think this is a pretty classic example. If you're out and about tonight, you need to slow it down for sure. Now, let's continue our storm coverage, and I'll send it to my colleague, Tori Stepanek.
Hey, Jim, thank you very much. I'm outside at the corner of Old 63 and Stadium right now, where we just picked up right around an inch so far of snowfall here in Columbia throughout the day today. Like you said, although some of the highways are going to be pretty much okay at this point, they've been treated all day long. Some of these side roads, especially in some of these residential areas, are still almost completely covered with snowfall. So if you're going to be out and about tonight, please make sure you're driving safely on the roadways. Also, all of this blowing snow is really causing some visibility issues, especially now so that the sun has gone down. It's really reduced to only a half a mile ahead in some areas at this point throughout really all of mid-Missouri. That's all I have for now. I'll have more reports later, but for now, let's send it back to the studio.
The City of Columbia and MoDOT have 45 crew members out working to help keep the streets safe for drivers. Public Works started pre-treating the roads before the snow fell today. It used a salt mix to help with trouble areas in the city. MoDOT says its crews use a sand and salt mix for traction as well as beet juice for anti-icing. MoDOT also said it aims to keep its routes looking like the city's.
We check in with our drivers as they're out on the road and have them observe, you know, what do the city streets look like. Let's make sure that they're consistent and look the same as the City of Columbia.
The pre-treating on the roads is primarily on trouble areas, intersections, bridges, curves, areas that are known to be dangerous when it gets slick.
For an up-to-date look at what streets in the City of Columbia look like and what they're treating, visit our website, KOMU.com. We've had many schools around our viewing area dismiss classes early today. Slater Public Schools announced a late start for Wednesday. Mizzou also canceled all of its evening classes and activities tonight. They'll make a decision on tomorrow's classes by 5 a.m. We'll continue to keep you up to date with the latest closings and cancellations, both on the bottom of your screen and on our website, KOMU.com. Lawmakers in Jefferson City look to tackle one of this year's biggest issues, ethics reform. KOMU 8's Connor Smith is in the newsroom with the latest from the Capitol.
The sponsor says House Bill 2166 is designed to limit the amount of influence that lobbyists have over lawmakers in Jefferson City. The bill, designed to ban lawmakers from receiving gifts from lobbyists, passed unanimously through a House committee, but it didn't go without debate.
I think it's absolutely positive. Having questions being addressed in the committee process should it be exactly what we do in the Missouri House.
Officials from both sides of the aisle saw today's Ethic Reform Committee vote as a good first step.
I think these ethics bills are definitely a step forward in making sure that the general public is confident in the type of representative and the type of people that they send to the Jefferson City, to know that we're doing their work and not just doing work that's going to benefit us by receiving gifts.
That's a great first step. It's a great baby step, but it is only a baby step. Again, the elephant in the room is unlimited campaign contributions.
Campaign contributions weren't Mitten's only concern.
I think that the big issue with any legislation is what's the penalty? What happens if you don't follow the law?
Mitten expects some of these penalties to be addressed before the bill is finalized. Alferman says he expects the bill to go to the House floor for a vote next week.
A robbery at a Jefferson City apartment complex ends with a mother and her child hiding in the bathroom and a suspect at large. 3 men are suspected in the robbery at the Broadmoor Apartments around 10:30 last night. Officers arrested 18-year-olds Antonio Jones and William Murray, who face pending charges. One of the suspects forced his way into the apartment and showed a handgun before demanding everyone get on the ground. The mother and her 2-year-old child hid in the bathroom while the men went through her apartment. Police say the suspects fled the scene and after stealing items from the residents. One resident at the apartment complex says this incident doesn't necessarily cause a safety concern for him.
I didn't feel safe here in the place because a lot of cops come by watching this place here, and nothing has happened, but we didn't know nothing about the break-in last night, but we didn't know nothing about that.
KOMU 8 News will continue to monitor the search for the third suspect. Police say a Cole County man was arrested Monday after making a false bomb report at a Jefferson City business. They say a witness told them 51-year-old Max Sturgis walked into Sunoco Plastics around 4 yesterday and placed a suspicious box in an office. The package was labeled as dynamite but actually contained fireworks. Police say the business was evacuated until police determined the package was safe. Police in St. Charles County arrested 3 suspects they say were involved in 2 armed robberies in Fulton over the weekend. Police arrested Anthony Crudup, Devon Heron, and Kyle Berry early Sunday morning. The suspects are also accused in 2 other armed robberies in the Jonesburg and Lake St. Louis areas. The 3 suspects are in custody and will face charges in Callaway County. Deputies in Camdenton say they arrested a man for possession of a controlled substance today. 35-year-old Harold Ray Townsend was arrested when deputies responded to a domestic disturbance Friday evening. They found methamphetamine and drug paraphernalia. Townsend was taken to the Camden County Adult Detention Facility and is being held on a $1,000 cash bond. Residents in the 1600 block of Starlight Boulevard in Cole County heard a gunshot last night around 10 p.m. According to a news release, Cole County deputies are investigating the incident that started with an argument. The victim was admitted to St. Mary's Hospital, then transported to University Hospital. Anyone with information in this incident can call the Cole County Sheriff's Office. The problem with overprescribing certain painkillers and how Missouri hopes to fix it. That's coming up.
Never be.
Is simple. If you don't love it, we replace it free. Come see the One, Carpet One, on the Business Loop in Columbia.
The First Alert Weather Cam is brought to you by your Heart of Missouri Chevy dealers.
Welcome back to KOMU 8 News, a live look over the Columbia Regional Airport right now on our First Alert weather cam. And looking at our temperatures, it's kind of interesting here because I've been talking about some freezing drizzle, some freezing sleet here along and south of US 50, which runs through Jefferson City. And that is happening, but it might be interesting because you can see our temperatures at the surface around 21 in Jeff City, 21 at Lake of the Ozark as well. That's because, getting into just a little bit of science real quick, it's because we have a wedge of warm air just above the surface actually, and that's what's creating the freezing sleet as it continues to fall. Above that, though, we are just seeing temperatures cold enough throughout the atmosphere for this snowfall. So again, looking at our satellite and radar, we do have a little bit of a wedge of some drier air here moving through, but our next our next branch of snow is going to move through later on this evening, about 8 p.m., 9 p.m. here across the region, and it does look to expand to the south as well. So most of us seeing a little bit more snow, certainly, as we head into these evening hours. And we can even see that here on our Precipcast as well, this next wedge moving in later on throughout the night, but it will move out overnight tonight, even by 1 a.m. actually. Most of us not seeing snow anymore in our entire viewing area, just some clouds by sunrise, but a lot of sunshine expected tomorrow afternoon actually, mostly sunny to partly sunny skies by the afternoon. And we're also looking at here on, this is Wednesday afternoon at 3 p.m. You can even see our next weather system. It's right over here actually into parts of southern Kansas into Oklahoma, and that is going to continue to develop and move into the region, but yet the exact placement of where this system is going is being very picky, and it doesn't want to make up its mind. So this system, as you can see, rotating over there in Kansas, giving them quite a bit of snowfall on Wednesday night into Thursday morning. This is actually Thursday at noon now at this point. You can see it's over here to the west, but it's actually expected to go off to the south. It's just how far south will it actually be moving before it actually gets into our region. So that's something we're watching for. You can see it's kind of very on the edge of our southern region, and if this does expand any more to the north, we will be seeing a little bit of some snowfall, if not a little bit of a wintry mix here in our region. So that's something else we're watching for Thursday. So expect some flurries, I would say, at this point for our viewing area, maybe a little bit more if you live down into the Ozark region. How much more tonight, though? This is just for tonight. We're looking at about 3 to 4 inches here in this darker blue. Columbia, you're right in that 3 into possibly 4 inch range. Jefferson City, 2 to 3 inches expected for you with 1 to 2 inches south of there. But again, we have some of this freezing sleet here for our southern viewing area as well. Overnight tonight, low temperatures getting down to about 18 degrees for a low. East winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. And again, that snow leaving the area. We're actually going to be partly to mostly sunny tomorrow afternoon. Highs right around the freezing mark of 32. Light winds, though, east from only 3 to 7 miles an hour. 30 here on Thursday, and we're going to be tracking the system. Certainly tune in with us as we head into the next 24 hours, and we'll keep you updated on that. Otherwise, 30 on Friday, and then 34 on Saturday with up to 45 on Sunday. If you're waiting for more sun and warmer conditions, Sunday is your day. But then we have another weather maker with another chance for wintry mix on Monday. A lot happening. Stay tuned. Here's a Weather IQ question for the day. The process of changing vapor into ice is sublimation, deposition, or evaporation?
Ooh. Well, evaporation is the opposite, right? Like, is when it becomes a gas. So A or B? I'll go with B. I don't know.
I'll go with B. The answer is B. It's deposition. And the opposite of that was sublimation. So, yeah, interesting fact there.
All right. Thanks, Kenton. Coming up after the break, Missouri's Claire McCaskill works to fight what she calls a nationwide drug epidemic.
At Jefferson City.
A U.S. senator paid a visit to the governor's office today to talk about a problem nationwide and here in Missouri, prescription drug abuse. KOMU 8's Andrew Hebert tells us about Senator Claire McCaskill's special field hearing.
Senator Claire McCaskill discussed the nation's opioid epidemic today. Doctors and state lawmakers weighed in on possible solutions to treat and reduce prescription drug addiction. Every day in the United States, 44 people die as a result of prescription opiate overdose, according to the CDC. Senate hearing witness Dr. Bob Twillman said opioid addiction has become an epidemic.
We certainly have seen a major increase in the amount of prescribing over the past decade or so, and I think it's gotten out of hand.
Overprescription is a complex issue.
It's a challenge because chronic pain is a complex thing and it requires lots of time to figure out what's going on, and the medical system doesn't help us with that. It makes us want to turn patients over as rapidly as possible, and that leads to overprescribing.
Several witnesses said Missouri should establish a statewide prescription monitoring program, reducing the likelihood of doctor shopping, a phenomenon where patients go to several doctors to get several prescriptions.
First, it does curtail doctor shopping. So the physician, before he writes that script, can look and see, okay, has this person, did they get 4 scripts last month from 4 different doctors?
A monitoring program would also allow a pharmacist to view a patient's prescription records.
So that's a 2-part buffer there before a narcotic goes out on the streets.
Ultimately, the solution will take time, but Senator McCaskill said options like statewide monitoring program, broader insurance coverages, and reduced amount of pills prescribed can lead to less opiate addiction in the future.
From NCAA violations to struggles on the court, it has been a tough year for the Missouri basketball team, but the players know what they have to do to get back on track. That's next in sports.
And on the wing up top to colder weather.
Brakes, oil, lube, filter, wheel alignment.
Add Honda sensing and Earth Dreams technology, and the competition doesn't come close. Right now, lease a 2016 CR-V for just $229 a month. The more you look at Honda SUVs, the more you'll know they're the smart way to go. See your Mid-Missouri Honda dealer.
Now, from the Ford Sports Desk, KOMU 8 Sports.
Hello, everyone. The University of Missouri Athletics Hall of Fame has announced its class of 2015. Former Mizzou wide receiver Denario Alexander headlines the list. Alexander led the nation his senior season with 1,700 yards receiving. 2010 national champion wrestler Max Askren and football and track athlete Russ Bell from Jefferson City also are honored. Another two-sport athlete, Jack Davis, who starred in baseball and track in the 1950s, goes into Missouri's Hall of Fame, along with longtime track and field coach Rick McGuire and 4-time All-American gymnast Sarah Shire. Missouri made official the addition of Texas transfer Jordan Barnett to the men's basketball team. Barnett played high school ball at CBC in St. Louis and led the cadets to the state title 2 years ago with 43 points and 20 rebounds in the title game against Hickman. He played sparingly at Texas, averaging 3 points and 2 rebounds this season. Barnett will be eligible as a junior at Mizzou second semester next season. Meanwhile, the Tigers spring back into play tomorrow night against Georgia. They look to avenge an 18-point loss to the Bulldogs 2 weeks ago in Athens.
I play from inside out. They got a great big man by number 1, Yante, so we're going to try to tame him as much as we can and then just hope for the best with the jump shooters. They shot the ball well, so man, it was just a tough game, and we looking to do better this time.
The 23rd ranked Missouri women's basketball team continues its brutal schedule Thursday night when the Tigers visit 13th ranked Texas A&M. It will be the 4th nationally ranked opponent for Mizzou in its first 6 conference games. For the 4th time this season, Sophie Cunningham is the SEC Freshman of the Week. Cunningham averaged 14 points and 7 rebounds in 2 Tiger games, a win over then 7th-ranked Mississippi State and a loss at Arkansas. Cunningham quick to credit her success to her teammates.
I'm very honored for it, but it's a team effort. I mean, it's not 1 versus 5. I mean, my teammates give me the ball when I need it, so they're making me look good, so props to them.
The thing is, like, she's a great teammate, too, and when she gets those honors, she's going to give the credit back to every other player on the team, which is really important. And that's just, like, every girl on our team is like that, and I think that's why we've had the success that we have.
There's been a buzz, you know, with our freshman class coming in and the way we were able to grind out games last year and how tough and resilient our kids played. And so I think going into this summer, there was definitely a buzz that we want to capitalize on.
And that's sports.
How do you save over $14 grand on a new Silverado? Look in your pocket. The GM Top Off program has returned. Bring your GM card to #1 Business Loop in Columbia. Now at Bob McCosh, you can save over $14,000 on the few remaining 2015 Silverados. See the savings right now at bobmccosh.com. So giddy up, let's go, and save over $14,000. Find your GM card and then find new roads to #1 Business Loop in Columbia. Chevrolet makes the truck. Bob McCosh makes the difference.
Options including financing. Just call 449-5000 and see for yourself. Kincannon Plastic Surgery and Medical Spa, helping you look as beautiful as you feel.
There's nothing like a good road trip. The sun in your face and the wind in your hair.
So what is it with you and ice cream?
This is awesome.
Drive away in an awesome new vehicle and save big at Capital Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
So you're still on your special weight loss program?
You know it.
And go with the guys you know.
Thank you for watching KOMU 8 News at 6. Mid-Missouri's most watched 6 o'clock news.
Here's a look at what we're following for KOMU 8 News at 10. We have updates on those road conditions, and we'll look at how many accidents have snarled traffic around Columbia today. Plus, data breaches allowed hackers to access personal information from millions of people. Today is the day they've been waiting for. We'll tell you how to beat the hackers and keep your money safe.
Here's another look at how much snow we've seen across the area thus far. There is more expected this evening here, about 1 to 2 inches in Columbia, depending on where you live. Otherwise, Mexico, about 1.5 to 2 inches, and even less, of course, as you head to the south. And again, we're expecting more snow about 8:30, 9 p.m. across the area, and it's going to continue until about midnight, 1 a.m., and then we are going to be dry by sunrise. 32 then tomorrow afternoon for a high temperature. Still another system possible there on Thursday. Some flurries at that point, even into Friday as well. Warmer this weekend, and then more on Monday.
So melted a little bit, just in time to get some more.
Exactly. There you go.
Have a great night.
On air.